Hey everyone, today we get Samuel's warning about the king. "This is how the king will rule over you," Samuel said. "He'll take your sons and he will use them for his chariots and his cavalry and his runners for his chariot. He'll use them as commanders of troops of 1,000, troops of 50, or to do his plowing or his harvesting or to make his weapons or parts of it for his chariots. He'll take your daughters to be perfumers, cooks, or bakers. He'll take your best fields, vineyards, and olive groves and give them to his servants. He'll take 1/10 of your grain and your vineyards to give to his officials and servants. He'll take your male and female servants, along with the best of your cattle and donkeys, and make them do his work. He'll take 1/10 of your flocks, and you yourselves will become his slaves. When that day comes, you will cry out because of the king you chose for yourselves, but on that day, the Lord won't answer you." So I think we're actually seeing some good parenting advice, or maybe just leadership advice. You listen to people's requests, you explain to them the consequences of their choice, and then you let them choose, even if you know better, even if it hurts your feelings, because it feels like a rejection. And then, if you're gracious, as God is, you eventually help even after they do hurt themselves. Now, that's not what we want for people that we love. Ideally, people will listen to our warnings and our wisdom, but we know that a lot of times people won't. Experience is the best teacher, even though we don't want people to have to experience terrible things. You see, they're all focused here on what the king they think will give them, right? Give them leadership, power, victory, status, right? Being like all the other nations. And those are maybes. They might get those things. But here's what's certain. Samuel's warning about the king is summed up in one phrase: he will take. Right? What you get out of this, it's not going to be worth it. You're going to lose a lot more than you gain. And if you read the rest of Samuel, if you read the books of Kings, you see this come true fully. And Solomon actually is probably the worst example of it. For all his wisdom, he takes a lot. So it costs to get what you want. And sometimes it's worth the cost, right? Nothing good comes easy. But sometimes it's not worth it. So the question we have to think about is, do we want what we should want? Are we seeking things that are going to give us life and bless us? Or are we seeking things that are just going to steal life from us? Are you giving yourself to something or someone that's just taking? Every relationship is an investment. There is give and take. And that's what God is trying to do with us. We don't just get everything that we want from God, and God doesn't just take everything that God wants from us. And so, can we find those things that are worth investing in instead of seeing what's just going to take life from us when God wants to give us abundant life?